Hey, Poodle family, it's that time. It's the end of the year. Christmas this last weekend, New Year's coming up this week. And we're just going to have a little party. I did a little open invite. We've got so far in the in the participants, we've got a couple of return guests, and you know both of them well from the Telegram, and I'm sure more will hop in. This is an open invite just to talk Poodle, just enjoy. It's the holiday happy hour hangout. For an hour, we're just going to sit here. We're going to talk about what has happened with the token, just where we're going, and just enjoy some time together. I mean, this year has been crazy among crazy, right? I mean, just thinking that, remember, it is called COVID-19, and we're about to be into 22 this next week, which is just crazy. But you know what? Even though you hate to say there's any good that comes out of a pandemic, because there isn't, except for I think that crypto really got its big push because of people being home, people wondering what is the future like, maybe rethinking their lives. And I know that Poodle is one of those things that really benefited from that, as far as just finding the community of people where you couldn't, and I've said this all along, where you couldn't meet up with people, where you couldn't, you couldn't, see your family, your friends, and you had to find things on, another way out of our reality. And then I found our Poodle family and just this crazy meme coin token crypto thing. And it's just been awesome. So that being said, I am going to, I'm going to quit me and I'm going to take here. So we're bringing in, all right, we got a couple. Now, if you have the link is in the Telegram and you want to join, come on in. And make sure I got the right, hold on, I got the right faders. We got two in so far, and two of my favorite people on earth, by the way. Karin, I said it right this time, right?
Yeah, you did.
Boom. How about that? I can learn.
Boom.
Karin, how are you doing?
Doing really well. I am so excited about these NFTs. I'm asking Sasha all kinds of questions just because I'm trying to learn. I can't wait. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to buy.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy one.
Yeah. No, I think that, to me, that's going to be the, I'm just excited about it. We've seen the teasers. We've seen a little bit of everything, that might be coming out, but not totally sure of exactly what to, which way it's going to go, right? And I don't know. I'm excited. I think that this is going to be an amazing week, month, year coming up. So I'm excited about it.
Me too.
All right, and then Elle, sorry, I'm going to skip you really quick. I'm going to save the best for last. I got to save the best for last because we have a new person that we don't know, Colin. Welcome.
Hey guys.
How you doing? Tell us just a quick thing about yourself.
My name's Colin. I live in Fort Worth, Texas, and I've been following Poodle for a minute, and I'm excited for the next few days.
Awesome. Hey, yeah, this is going to be exciting. At Fort Worth, so I lived in Grapevine for a while. My daughter was born right there, so yeah, so right around that area. So can't go. I love the stockyards. I mean, that's like the tourist thing to do. I know it's the tourist thing to do, but it's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, hey, thanks for hopping in. All right, Elle. Well, I guess you're going to be best is second to last. So Elle, welcome in. Obviously, you are the rock star of our Telegram. Welcome. Tell me a little about you.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm excited for the NFTs as well. I mean, my God, some of the stuff that we're seeing out there, we're just gonna smoke it.
I know.
100%. I mean, I'm looking at all MCAP sizes, just doing some research, and I don't see anybody doing what we're doing. And so I want people to see the value in that. I'm ready to go and chill.
Yep. Oh, I am so excited about it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how to put it because tell you the truth, I don't even really understand it very much. But it's going to make a lot of great episodes coming up, kind of learning about all this together. So I'm excited. Yeah. And the previews, I think this is going to be something that has never. We're going to knock like just the NFT world, on their backs. It's going to be crazy. I mean, and you got people like, when you have Paris Hilton following Moose because of our NFTs, that tells you something, right? I mean, people are watching. Yeah. People are watching.
Amazing, so.
And I'm telling you, when we get to the point where Moose can drop an NFT in her DMs, just slide it in there for her to purchase, of course, not free. And it's got the stuff that she likes, the Dolce & Gabbana and the couture clothing. I mean, my God, I think she's going to find it, as she once said, it's hot. It's hot.
Yep.
I want one of those too, though. Not just Paris. I want one too.
Well, yeah, but with all the accessories that you're going to be able to add, you're going to make these things your own. Oh, and cool. There's some of that out there in NFTs, but they're 2D or one-dimensional. We're talking 3D, making these things move around. And even the geocaching possibilities alone, that's where I think this thing is going to really fly. Oh, I really do. People dig that. Go find it, Yep. Bring a little happiness into people's life, which is Poodle.
Yeah, 100%. I can't wait to see customizable things. Why doesn't Paris have her own line? She's got her own, if she's got perfumes, why not some NFT garbs? How about a handbag for the poodles, right? That's Paris Hilton. Why not? Welcome. Tell everyone who you are. Of course, you're muted.
Is it Arthur?
Arthur. All right, passing over to Colby. Colby's put in the chat on the YouTube. I'm trying to multitask. I'm watching the YouTube chat.
Colby has adorable dog.
What's up?
I know. How's it going? Tell everyone about yourself.
Okay, so I'm a 17-year-old high school student. I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I invested in Poodle about a month ago.
Nice. Hey, welcome to the Poodle family. I remember kind of seeing you kind of being on the telegrams and stuff. And so I'm curious, what drew you? And I'm curious, again, because I've talked to Karen and Elle, both to you, Colby, and to you, Colin. What drew you to Poodle?
I saw it on Twitter. So I was like, this is a nice fan base following and good activity. So I joined the Telegram, and I just so happened to have a poodle. So
nice.
Adorable.
I know. What's your poodle's name?
His name's Dexter.
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 We don't have an official mascot yet. I think Dexter needs to be our mascot or something.
I was
Super Dex. Super Dex. He wears a pink cape.
Yep.
Oh. So we need to get Dexter some poodle gear.
Exactly. And then, Colin, how did you find?
I was in a call group, and they were actually talking bad about one of the guys that's involved with this. And so I went to his Facebook page and was scrolling through it because we had just gotten rugged. And I went to his page and saw this poodle thing, and my mom has a golden doodle. And I was like, Poodle, what's that? And then so I looked it up, and then I read the story about y'all getting rugged and coming back from a rug. And I thought that was cool as shit. And then I was like, I like that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is, speaking of coming back, so I almost put this in the Telegram. So, I held back from putting it in the Telegram. So let's just put it all over YouTube. I'm going to do an episode coming up, basically warning everyone, because speaking of being rugged, I thought about this. Remember back last March, April, when all these random tokens started coming out, and the thing that everybody was saying is how they lock liquidity we locked it for a year. Poodle goes, we're going to do it for 5 years. Well, you realize that March is coming around real quick. If people don't start selling that stuff, I mean, if you think about how many crooks there are out there, they're going to pull all their money come the beginning of March. And everyone's going to get screwed. Like,
Yeah.
because you don't think about it. You just think, oh, we locked it. And then you pay, if you have a miscellaneous token you invest it in, and you're just going to let it sit there, right? And you forget a year ago, a year sounded great. Well, that time's going to come where they can pull all their money back out. And if their token didn't go anywhere in the last year, they're just going to take their money. They're not going to relock liquidity. They're going to take their money and they're going to go start another token and try to rug out. So, we got to get the word out to warn people.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I think it's important also, it seems like a year, oh, that's not long. But for altcoins, it's a long time, especially with our history. But it is a long time. I mean, you see tokens being rugged all the time on Twitter or whatever social media you use. You know, people losing their money or they get kicked out of Telegram because they're asking questions. Next thing you know, they can buy, but they can't sell. All kinds of crazy stuff is happening out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's interesting because I think there's going to be a big mutiny come March when all these people that started putting their liquidity start yanking it.
That would suck, man. It's like a mass. Ugh.
Well, what would you do if being honest, like even if you had good intentions of starting a token, right? When whatever was going to take off, and you had good intentions, but it didn't take off, and your money is just being held out doing nothing for a year, and your token has no purpose, you haven't been working it, what would you do? You'd probably pull your money too.
Yeah.
Right? Not even just meaning to do bad. You just be like, well, this is stupid. What's it doing sitting there? If I locked up $50,000, I'm going to pull it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it may not be worth 50. It might only be worth 40. Yep. And so you're just thinking, I may as well just get out of this and go bye-bye. That's so true, Joe. I mean, not without even malicious intent. Because I think that happened with some people that we knew on the side. That I think people just pulled their money because it wasn't working, not to be malicious.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you don't blame people, but that's why I was stoked when I saw like 5 years of our liquidity. It's like
we have nothing to do but make it work.
Exactly.
That's it. That's our plan.
Yeah.
That was really the beginning of someone in Poodle having a vision. Okay, that knowing that you cannot survive on hype alone, you have to do something with your token. Otherwise, what's the value in it? It just becomes a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
You know, so I really think the 5 years and then locked with a third party, even better.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
5 years is a really good long time. That we're gonna be dancing in the streets sooner than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say that, Joe, have you looked? I just looked at the roadmap, or I actually listened on a YouTube of the roadmap of the famous dogecoin that I won't be named, and I am super glad I listened to what their roadmap is because it absolutely is nothing compared to what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So I was looking for something similar to our project, just so I kind of get an idea of my mind of what our potential really was. And I couldn't find anything. There's nothing out there.
Yeah, there is nothing out there that I can see that is even close to us. And especially with our roadmap that we're on, I'm pretty impressed.
When the time comes, I mean, and it's only a couple of days, but as this rolls out, really the shillers, and I'm going to really hone in on that and tell them your shills are going to you need to up your game because challenge people to find what we are doing. They can't. They won't be able to. If they're interested at all in getting in on a good investment, but they're not quite sure what's behind something or what their roadmap is, and are they even going to deliver on, and have they delivered in the past? we have the strength to say those things. And we need to go, excuse the language, balls out and say, I challenge you. Nobody else is doing this. You take a look at this and go right after the NFT crowd. Even if you don't know that much about NFTs, they do. They do.
Yep. You know, that was kind of my whole thought too. And I know there's been talk like, well, if you can buy 1 billion tokens for, you know, $40, well, why would you buy an NFT for, you know, 1,000? But they're just different markets, right? They're different things, and you have to look at it through that. And what Moose is working on, what we're working on with a 3D NFT that's usable in an app in real life, I've never seen that before, ever.
Yeah.
And whether we agree or not, this NFT world is just blowing up. It's making tokens and coins look like the side thing.
Yep.
And we need to be, you know, Poodle deserves to be doing this. I cannot wait. It's going to be wonderful.
You're not going to find another token out there saying, come and find our one-dimensional, basically picture, still pic.
Right.
NFT in Walmart in your area. Come and find it and win a prize. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is download the app, you know, and find, you know, where we've geocached in Target, Walmart, Aldi, any place in the world, actually. It could be in Tokyo, could be in Egypt, who cares? And I mean, people love a good hunt. We know that.
They
and
do.
And those people may not know much about NFTs, but they know how to download apps and they know how to look for something.
Yeah. Wait, you put 1 billion tokens in Walmart, you got the best value in all of Walmart. Oh, wait.
Right.
Hold on. Wait, I got it here somewhere. There it is. All right. I had to go for it.
So in my opinion, 2022 is going to be based mostly on NFTs. So the only real way for coin growth is to have NFTs out this year, or a stable token. Otherwise, it's just going to be a pump and dump.
Yep. Well, and so Colby, since you obviously you're watching it, and I love, and so I work on a university campus, so I'm around everyone your age all the time, and they're really into all of this and gaming. And what I love about our roadmap is how we're mixing NFTs and gaming, and then also, like, what do you see? Because it's interesting. You said a pump and dump. Oh crap. Hopefully we're still going on live YouTube. I got a little error, but we're going to pretend we are. What do you think the future is? So I never thought of an NFT as a pump and dump. Like, maybe that's why I'm trying to get this. But it must be because, like, these 2D things can only last so long. People can only digitize their art for so long. People can only take 8-bit and 16-bit graphics for so long, right? What is going to set us apart, or what do you see the future is?
So we have you on the roadmap. It has multiple rounds of minting, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And we only have a few quarters set up so far. So, like the NFTs in this next year coming up are going to be what drives the coin market, like, as a whole, because meme tokens and stuff like that don't have NFTs or aren't producing them like multiple rounds aren't going to last. And since we have multiple rounds and an app, the app is huge because you can actually use your NFT and augmented reality.
Well, and see, and I think that's what's cool. Like, I love the idea of kind of a mash between an NFT and a Pokemon Go, right?
That's what I think of too, man. It's being able to use the NFT that's cool, you know?
Yeah. Well,
and is there any games coming out for Poodle?
That's a good question. And Sasha, welcome to the show, Sasha. There's
Hey, bro.
There's the man to
Thanks.
answer.
Yeah, it's interesting listening because when we wrote the roadmap, I mean, we've been one thing you guys should know is that we have been on the trail of augmented reality NFTs for over 6 months now. You know, when we first brought it up as an idea within the project, we weren't quite ready to pursue it, and we didn't quite have the right resources. And these things take time. You know, you don't build these apps overnight, and you don't formulate it into an idea and a concept that we had overnight, whilst trying to bat off FUD from previous incarnation of the token and all that kind of thing that happened that everybody knows about. So this has been a core vision of ours for some time, and it's great to see it coming into to fruition. But in terms of the roadmap, we wrote the roadmap specifically because it flows. So if you'll notice on there are a couple of points that I'd highlight. So one is the funding of the Wagmifier project, which is a generative NFT project, which will allow us to both help our own community, help other communities and struggling tokens and that kind of thing. But funding of bridges is on there. Now that flows directly from the revenue that the project will get from NFTs. And also for Q1, which starts in a few days, is gaming, yes. So absolutely there are games. And the NFTs that you see and that you will buy will be usable within some of those games. So I'm with you, Colby. NFT is going to drive a lot of tokens, and we're going to be part of that. But also gamify. So we're gamifying our token by way of NFT. So I mean, it's a big area to encompass, but it kind of flows from one to the other. So first of all, you get the NFTs, then you get those NFTs in the app, and then real world gaming. I think Elle touched on it. So that's not in the app right now, but that's part of what the app will do. So at the moment, what you will do is you will download the app. There'll be a couple of models in there for everybody to use. And then you can buy your own models or your own NFTs and use those in the same way and pin them around places and take photos and videos. And we plan to run various competitions. So, we'll do a big one on Twitter, which will be, funniest picture with one of the Poodle models in, best landscape or, best video clip with the NFTs in. And we'll give away $1,000 worth of Poodle, for example, which will kick off a kind of a real world gaming type strand, but then we'll move that into geocaching. So we will drop a specific set of NFT, 3D augmented reality NFTs all over the place. So we'll drop them in a Walmart, or we'll drop them in a Tesco in the UK, or whatever store, or some famous landmarks, and like a real world treasure hunt. So the first person to find, we might drop 1,000 silver coins and 2 gold ones. And, you go to your Walmart, you have a look around with your phone, you find the gold one, and, you've got one of the top prizes. So that's gaming in itself. But as for games, the traditional method of gaming, yes, the NFTs will also, as we move forward, be part of proper games, as we would say. You'll probably see a little bit more of that when you see some of the NFTs that drop and some of the accessories they have that look like gaming characters. So yeah, absolutely. Long answer to a short question. Yes.
One question. So a lot of the new games made of coins I see are they use pre-made utilities that you can buy. From what I can tell, there's none of those in the Poodle app, or I don't think there'd be any in the Poodle game. So is all of it original?
It is original, yeah, and we own both the source code, the copyright, and we have built it from the ground up. So it's not pre-made, it's not off the shelf. We haven't taken someone else's game and reskinned it, as a lot of these tokens try and do now. And that's part of the reason why it takes time. It's literally been made to order.
And I'll say too, so, all right, you can shut me up at any time, Sasha, but as everyone knows, I'm just a normal holder like everybody else. That said, every now and then I might see a little preview of something dropped in my DMs, and I'm blown away by what I see. And the fact, and I think Sasha just said it, why has it taken it this time been done like this? Like this, when everyone sees what's coming out, and I haven't even had an opportunity to really play with it outside of, I think I put the Poodle in my Tesla, and I put the Poodle over at crypto.com arena. Outside of those couple things, I think I put the Poodle on my boat once. But when people see this is not a repackage of someone else's thing. This is a built from ground up, like, technology changing thing. And everyone who knows me, I mean, I'm doxed, I'm here. I mean, you can go to my USC, go on, put press room, USC, Joe Way, and you will see that I am a industry expert in augmented reality and virtual reality. And when I see what this team is doing, and I'm not even involved in the project, and I'm one of the leading experts in it, and it blows me away. It completely blows me away what everybody is doing. And that's why when I see, like, if you want good innovation, leave it to people who want to innovate, not people who are being paid to innovate. Right? And there's a big difference there. When, we talk about, you see everybody else. Look at all the stupid meme tokens. You'll watch an Elon tweet, and the next day there will be a token based on whatever word he said in the tweet. That is no way to build a financial future. Poodle has given me 100% validity by the fact that there was something 6 months ago, and they said, we're going to do this. And they built it from scratch. And literally, I host a podcast, and I'm a leading expert in this stuff, and they don't even need me, because the best innovation is done by people who want to innovate, not by people who are paid to innovate. And that's the biggest difference. This is going to be huge, huge.
Yeah, I think part of the innovation is, I mean, obviously there's quite a lot of augmented reality apps out there. If you look for them, there's quite a lot of NFTs out there. I think marrying the blockchain to augmented reality is where we are, probably one of a few pioneers, which, and then taking that into gaming is obviously the vision and the roadmap. But yeah, that's praise indeed, Joe. Praise indeed.
Well, I really wonder, and I'm wondering if you guys know of any other, especially starting out as meme coins. I'm just thinking of Poodle as so much more than a meme coin. But when you listen to the crypto experts talk about what coins to invest in, the first thing they'll say is go and look at the known people that are backing the project. And I've been thinking about this for a long time. We're just a bunch of little guys that are banding together with a lot of power. And when Poodle becomes famous and well-known, I look forward to hearing them say, well, gosh, here's an exception to that rule. I don't know of anything out there that's made it and done really well like we're going to do without big backing behind them, big names.
Well, and I think it had to be that way. If somebody were to ask me, why is Poodle doing this? And there will be that person that asks that. One of the reasons why is, what else was Poodle going to do? It had to, given its history, do something that nobody else was doing to say, hey, well, not only are we still here, we are never going back to what we were before. And, and we've got a vision, and here it is. And once that gets out there, I agree, it's going to be huge. But it's a step that Poodle had to take. It really had to do the leaps and bounds that other tokens with a lot of backing to them or star power, or they took a lot of money from marketing from people. We didn't have that. So you know what we have now is saying to the world, yeah, not only are we here, we're going to smoke what you see out there.
Yeah, we are so solid.
Yep. Totally agree. Colin, you unmuted. Did you want to say something? Oh, now you're muted again. Uh-oh. I muted you.
Oh,
there we go.
I'll jump back in, Joe. But yeah, innovation is I mean, I love the fact that we're innovating and we're a small fish at the moment, you know, and we're doing things that my mid-cap coins don't do, you know, and we're pushing boundaries. And I mean, I love AR and VR as technologies. You know, I envision the day where, you know, most of the world will be augmented. So, you know, your car windshield will be the screen and you'll see, you know, augmented reality, speed signs and, you know, flashing warnings about rain or whatever the government or wherever you are wants to put out there without having to pay for the physical infrastructure. I mean, can you imagine the applications for business in AR? And this may well be an avenue that we go down as a token as well. You know, we own this technology, we own the app, we own whatever content we create, but that doesn't stop us creating content for others. So, you know, let's say we, as a token, decide to take this commercial and we brand it for a business, let's say, you know, you walk into Walmart and you have it's like, you know, you have their branded version of our app on your phone and you go down aisle 6 and all of a sudden, you know, something pops out from the aisle and shows you where this special offer is or this deal. And in return, the Walmart or whoever it is gets your, you know, your data. It's a bit like a loyalty card, but it's a virtual version of that with bells and whistles on, you know. There are lots of possibilities around this technology, and you know, I think we've got some great avenues to look at in the future. But for now, the NFTs and the NFT marketplace in terms of art and gaming is where we're headed. But that's not to say there aren't other things that we're looking at in the background. You know, there's a few surprises to come in January that aren't on the roadmap, which is great as well. But I won't kind of steal the thunder of the NFT release by mentioning any of them. But they are in the wings.
Oh, I love it. All right, Colin, is your mic back on now? Are we good? Hold on. We're finding out. We're fine. I don't hear you. I don't know why I don't hear you. Oh, no.
Maybe if I click unmute, it'll work.
Oh, there we go. We're all good. You were going to say something.
I don't even know what I was going to say anymore. I got a seem alert, but then I looked it up and nothing had changed. It was about Poodle. But anyway, I have a question though, real fast. Is it cool to ask a question since we're? Is that okay?
Ask away. I mean, you're one-on-one. All right, you're on 6 with a bunch of people. So go on.
All right. So I was kind of asking in the chat earlier, but we're gonna have the NFT of the first round of mint. A couple, maybe yesterday, Moose said in the chat that it would be between 0.1 and 0.25 Ethereum to mint, right? And then earlier they said they were going to be basic through different rarities. So is the 0.1 going to be for the basic and the 0.25 for the rare ones? Is that how that works? Or are you going to buy them and you just kind of like, once it's all over, you see what you get, or how does that work?
Yeah, Sasha, we have a whole bunch of Colbys in our room right now. But that said, so as far as I think it might be my stream. I'm streaming like multiple I'm trying to do the multiple stream thing at once. This is our first time. I don't know if I should have done that while I was doing a Zoom at the same time, but nonetheless, we're growing a podcast as we know. We're at 31. So here's the whole thing. Oh, yep. There's I gave you permission to. You're doing it off a phone. I wish I could make that bigger, but I can't. But there's the roadmap. So here's the thing that I understand, and Sasha and all can change this. Correct me if I'm wrong. When you get the app, there will always be free Poodle to play with. Okay, so you don't have to buy to play, right? The NFTs are special edition, right? And that allows you the art version, all the special characters and all that. Right now, they're going to come pre-built. They're going to be fantastic. They're going to change the world. They're all priced along the NFT market to be competitive within the NFT market. And then, but download the app free Poodles. I think there's 4 that are free, give or take, right? It's 4, 2. Okay, 2, give or take 50 on either side. It could be minus 48 or plus 52. And so you get 2 that are free no matter what. So you don't have to actually buy anything. But then there's the NFTs that play within it. The app reads your wallet to see which NFTs you have, and then you play with what you have. The next stage of minting after the original is then to start separating out, where you can have your base model, add this accessory. I'm still waiting. By the way, hint, Moose, if you're on, we need the POODLCAST version with the, with the headphones. So I have no idea why I just kicked myself out of my own thing, but here we go.
Yeah, I'll pass it on to you, Joe. But yeah, you're absolutely right. So there's a reason we've done it this way. I mean, there's a couple of reasons. If you look at the roadmap, we're looking to fund bridges early next year. So the project needs a revenue stream outside of the token, because at the moment, what we do is, as a project, we have a tax, as you know. It's very small. It's only 3%. And a very small percent of that goes into things like liquidity, marketing, and basically the project to have funds. Now, in order for us to realize that into money that people will accept in the world of marketing, or if we wanted to change it to provide liquidity for in ETH, let's say, just take ETH as an example, then we would have to sell that poodle at a dismally low price right now. Let's be fair. We put much more value on it than the value of Poodle is worth now. We don't want to sell those tokens from the within the project if we can help it. So it will provide us a revenue stream that we could. So no one's going to care within Poodle if we sell Ethereum that we've brought in from NFTs, for example, because it won't affect our price. No one's going to care if we sell BNB because it doesn't affect our price. What people care about is if we sell a whole load of Poodle and it suddenly dumps the price, but we need that money for marketing, or we need it for liquidity for a bridge, for example. So part of the NFT project will fund that. And that's one reason why they will be in ETH to begin with on OpenSea, and they will be bundled together. The second reason is that gas fees are so expensive on Ethereum. So the point we will get to in round 2 of minting is where you basically buy your base model of your Poodle character, and then you accessorize it with whatever you want. So whether you want this particular type of sunglasses, this particular hair, this particular skin tone, this particular clothing, weapons, or sports equipment, or whatever other accessories are minted as separate NFTs. And they will then be bundled together onto your character. But to do that on Ethereum is so cost prohibitive, because if you think about it, who wants to buy 10 NFTs and pay 10 lots of gas fees to get one character? The answer is nobody. So that's what prevents us doing the modular approach on the Ethereum based ones. But when we're minting on a cheaper network like Solana or Harmony or Zill or whatever, then or BSC, the BSC gas fees are what, $1? So no one's going to care about spending $5 on combining 5 NFTs. So that's really the reasoning behind it. So yeah, you're right. Round 1 on ETH on OpenSea, those characters will come pre-assembled, so they will have all the accessories on. The hair, the clothing, the theme, the accessories will be with them. And you will just buy a single NFT, and that will be what appears in your app. Whereas in later rounds, it will be bolt together. So you can bolt together 5 different NFTs to make your character. And the app reads your wallet, knows what accessories you have, and whether you have the right to see them and use them.
So whenever you say bolt together, does that mean like you can make it your own, however you want it, but can you take it apart and add other accessories too?
That's
Yeah,
a great question.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's say you buy a base model and you buy a particular pair of sunglasses and a particular hairstyle or some sneakers that you think are really dope. And you want to use those sneakers on your model for however long, 6 months or whatever. But after that, you want to take them off, then and buy a different pair. Then you can sell those sneakers as a separate NFT and bolt on another set of sneakers, for example, onto your model.
See, I love that. And that's how most like kind of games. I mean, I'm sorry, I know it's weird. Welcome to me having a 22 and 21-year-old child, which means that I was the guy giving out the credit card during the height of the Club Penguin days. But that was really what the hit was. And you see that on you see all these on the role player games, is how you can accessorize yourself is the ultimate part of it all. What I love too is when we can end up pulling in, and I know we started early with this and hopefully we can pick this up, is other wearables, real life things where you end up having these. Imagine you walking your virtual poodle, having the stuff with you. And I think that there's a big opportunity there in the future. Like, with what I do, I think there's huge branding opportunities in the metaverse with what we do. I think there's huge opportunities to bring people in to, investing in the first time. I mean, I messaged Sasha last night with a random idea about creating various ways to bring investment groups in and do other things. Like, so many people, we keep talking about this, 97% of the world has never been in crypto. If you're in the crypto world, you feel like everybody is in it. But if you step out, you have to recognize that we are a minority of minorities of minorities. But yet, what's the hottest thing in all of, in the entire world right now? Here's a good question for you. I'm going to bring this to the group. So L, Karin, Colby, Sasha, Colin, you all get one vote. What is the number one revenue generating sport in the world right now? Football, baseball, soccer, blah, 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 blah. I know for you Europeans, football means soccer, whatever. But you know what I'm saying. Volleyball, the number one revenue generating sport in the world right now. L, what do you think it is?
I think it's soccer.
Okay, Karin, what do you think it is?
I think it's basketball.
Okay, Colby, what do you think it is? I'm just going around my screen.
E-games.
All right, Sasha, what do you think it is?
Yeah, I was going to say esports as well.
All right, Colin, I should have gone to Colby last. Colin, what do you think it is? You're muted again.
I was going to say soccer, but esports sounds way better.
You know what? The answer is esports. And you want a fun fact? Trent, it is not baseball. Sorry, Trent. Trent's on the chat here. Baseball. Now, granted, they get paid. I will take any baseball player's paycheck any day, even if you're the guy who never, ever has to leave the bench, which actually is the better job ever. But you have the best record, ERA, if you never have to leave the bench. Esports. Okay,
I'm old. I just have to interrupt. Esports. What are you saying exactly?
All right, Colby. Let's hear it from a 17-year-old. Define esports for us.
Esports is gaming, and the way people are paid is by international, and it doesn't even have to be international, just competitions. So people would join, and everybody puts in money. People win. There's people, YouTubers such as Tfue, a bunch of gaming ones, the FaZe clan, which is originally a Call of Duty clan on YouTube, was some of the first people to start making big money, and that was years and years and years ago. And as time goes on and more games are produced, and it spreads around the world, the more money's being made in it at these tournaments.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's professional game playing. Is that a way of saying it? Except it's done by amateurs. It's not like it's not like the NC2A here in the US where we have a governing body that decide what athletes can do. You have people who are 14, 15, 16, 20 years old making millions of dollars a year playing Fortnite. Like literally that's what they do. And it's so to finish the fun fact, esports revenue annually is more than adds up itself than all the other, if you take it top 10, it's the top number one, more than 2 through 10 together, add them together, esports still makes more per year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Tell you that's crazy. And this is what I love. So should I give something away? I'm going to give here, people who are watching, Poodle's going to be part of an esports team. Oh, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say right now. And this is going to be fantastic. And this is why I love the direction this token is going. This is why I love what we've been doing, because Poodle has always been on the mainstream, the leading edge, bleeding edge, the not even an edge yet because other people haven't thought of it yet side. And there's just no doubt that what's going to happen. But yes, esports is huge, and that's why I love what's happening here. And Xavier Cricket is up there for the top 10. So we have someone we on our chat. I'm sorry, I'm also watching the YouTube chat. Xavier put cricket. Ironic. I'm not a cricket person, but if you look at how many people live in India, which is huge, and it's huge in England and throughout, it's actually, I believe it's the number 3 sport. So it's esports, and then soccer, and then cricket. So that's crazy, right? And then baseball trend. So there you go.
Here's a curveball for you, Joe. Just on the augmented reality thing, and something that we've been, or I've been thinking about in the back of my head, and I've looked at some technologies, and I'm all about the tech. I love the tech. So I don't know if you've seen those Snapchat filters where you can put various things on, and it's like augmented. And I envisage that somewhere down the line we will get into augmented reality wearables. So people may not understand it yet, but you can basically cloak yourself in virtual wearables. So I look at you walking down the street with my eyes, for example, now, and you just look like you, but I look at you through my app, yeah, and you've got full, I don't know, Darth Vader suit on, and or whatever. That's how you look through the app. And these things are coming as well. It's really fascinating tech. But yeah, virtual wearables that stick with you as you walk down the street, or your dog walks down the street. You put a virtual, I don't know, dog jacket on it or whatever. It's just interesting facets of the technology, and I'm sure you've looked at them as well.
Yep. No, so the thing is like what I do. Everyone knows my day to day is I'm Dr. Way at USC. We have things coming out. When you see, and I know they're already out there, the Google Glass and the Apple glasses and all those things. There will be a day when everybody is walking around wearing glasses, period. And it's because it's going to be the way you use your phone. It's going to be the way you interact with the world. You're going to have your watch, your glasses, your phone. You're going to see things through the world, and it's already there. The funny thing is, the technology is already there. It already exists. It's out in the world. There are people using it. It's just not where you can walk into a store and buy it. And the fact that Poodle is already into getting things in this early stage is amazing. But beyond that, when you say wearables, or like Sasha, as you said, when you see someone wear, someone and all of a sudden they appear in Darth Vader, that's already it exists already. That technology hasn't hasn't had mass adoption, but it's there. And it hasn't had mass adoption because it hasn't been invented yet. So let's talk, for example, the Apple car. The Apple car exists, but they're not going to release it until full automated cars are allowed because there's no steering wheel in the thing, right? The technology in this world already exists. The way our world is going to look 50 years from now actually already exists. It's humans who are stopping it. It's people saying, hey, I'm not ready to let go of control, who are stopping it. And once we realize that there's so much opportunity to step in and have the world be the world we want, and it's huge. And not only that, we're having this conversation during the middle of an Omicron virus. Do you realize that we could stop this virus within weeks using the technology that already exists? But we don't want to do it as people. We have this thing as humans that think that we have to have control, yet we develop technology to allow control to be taken. And I feel like I'm on I'm doing my soapbox moment now. Every episode has to have a soapbox moment, but
You're talking about nanobots or something.
Yes and no, but like Elle, you wanted to say something. I think I know Elle enough. I think she's going to say something very wise right now. Sasha, no offense, Sasha, but I think Elle's got it here.
No, I could go and talk to you all night, Joe, and we'll have to have a conversation about tech sometime because I find it fascinating. Yep. So, Elle, don't let me stop you.
Well, no, so are you saying as far as the Omicron and how we could stop it with the technology? Is that kind of what you're saying, what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Most definitely with the technology that we have now, you could know in an instant when whatever area you're in, if that person has been exposed or even has it with the technology that we have now. And a lot of people are resistant to it. And there's ways to do it where you're completely anonymous. It has nothing to do with names. It has nothing to do with, everybody is assigned a certain number. There's ways that you can do it. And stopping this community spread is really the point. It's out in the community. That's how you stop it. Family gatherings, whatever, but we're talking about everybody has to go to the store. Everybody has to get gas. Everybody has to go and do everyday, life things. Well, what if you knew that the store you were about to walk into, the person that just walked in had been exposed or had it? Would you follow that person in there? No, you'd probably wait. That technology is there. So I find this whole conversation fascinating. And when you bring it around to Poodle and you say to yourself, I could put a poodle head on somebody, I could skin them through my phone, just for whatever reason, I can do it. It's, for me, somebody being older, I'm completely wowed by it. Maybe kids will think it's kind of cool, but bringing technology to Poodle brings eyes to Poodle, and eyes to Poodle brings us nice bags. Yeah. And I don't know about anybody else in this conversation, but I know I'm getting chills about what is coming for this dog.
100%. Colby unmuted for a second, but I'm gonna respond to Elle. Wait, you were right on the right track. So let me say this, and I'll say this: the technologies that are out there that I have been involved in, just on my campus. Let's use one that everyone knows about. When I bought my Tesla, and I had an employee who had a Tesla, so and when I got it, he said, "Watch your maps." It was like, just watch your maps. I'm like, what do you mean watch my maps? Because when you put on navigation, you just assume that navigation is navigation. And he's like, no, watch how the 3D renderings around you change over time. Because the camera is always watching. And so you notice when I would go drive down my house, like my street, my first time I drove down my street, every house was a square box. Now it knows the shape of every house. Why does it know the shape of every house? Because the cameras are watching. It's continuing to learn. when you go down, and he said, watch when you go through various areas, and you'll see who owns Teslas on their streets, because you'll see like everything's square, and all of a sudden you get a lot of detail. And then I learned later that every Tesla talks to itself. I didn't know this. Fun fact. If you own a Tesla, you can make the Tesla in front of you, like make jingles and stuff. You can actually talk to the other cars around you. Okay, but what does that mean? That means put that into COVID, contact tracing. Put that into Apple Maps. Every time you walk into if you have an iPhone, if you're an iPhone owner, and you start in the morning and you turn your car on, what does it tell you where to go? If it's on Monday through Friday, it's telling you to go to work. If it's Sunday, it might be telling you to go to church. If it's Saturday, it's telling you your favorite bar. Our technology is already there to end a mass virus. If one person knows where it is in an instant, we could already know contact tracing for the entire globe in an instant.
That's right.
It's already there, and we use it daily. And I'm not even talking about the things that I have NDAs for. And that's what's crazy. And yet we're still in a world where we don't want to, we don't want to, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, that's so we live in a world where a lot of people aren't going to reach for financial freedom, which is what crypto is, they're fighting it. So kind of goes hand in hand.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, just talking about the contract tracing and stuff. I mean, I've got a background in privacy and in tech and in IT security and that kind of thing. And it makes me smile when I see lots of people out there and saying, well, I'm not having anybody gonna trace me or, my rights and all this kind of thing. And yet they've got a cell phone. I'm not being funny, but from the background that I'm from, if someone wanted you and they find you, you've got a cell phone. The fact is, it's not rocket science to triangulate a position from 2 cell towers 24/7 on someone's phone, and there are lots of rats, remote access Trojans that people could put on your devices, and yet these people are convinced that I mean, I don't want to go there, but they're convinced that everybody's desperate to put a microchip in you. Well, they don't need to, because you've already got one and you carry it around and it's at the side of your bed on the night time. There are very few people that don't have a cell phone and don't take it everywhere with them. So believe me, people, if they wanted you, they'd have you.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole thing. And we shouldn't we don't want to get political, obviously. But on the other hand, we kind of have to. I am much more, so I know I'll come out. Everyone saw the episode. I am much more along the Ricky side politically. That's where I fallish. But the fact is, crypto and Poodle has an opportunity to be the greatest equalizer, yet also the greatest opportunity for anyone to totally make it. We all know that we are bagging up because, everyone knows I want to ride my Portofino. I think Poodle's my trip to my Ferrari Portofino. That said, crypto is the best equalizer getting away from world governments that could ever happen. Yet, world governments are investing in it bigger than ever because they recognize that. Karin, you unmuted. What are you going to say?
I was just going to agree with you and say I'm pretty much on the same page, and the equalizer part is absolutely true. Crypto and then Poodle just being this amazing opportunity that I'm hoping more and more people will find out about before it does shoot up. And even then, even if people get in at 100, we go up 100 times, it'll still be a great opportunity for so many people. And like you said, Elle, not everybody wants to get into financial freedom, but doesn't stop me from hoping many, many people will.
Yep.
Yeah, and just on the, I know you mentioned politics, and we may well be on different sides of the political spectrum as it's labeled, but ultimately we all want the same thing. Yeah, we want all of us to have a decent life with our own families, to be able to make our own choices, to be able to trade, and to be able to, sell and exchange our own human capital, so our labor, our resources, our intelligence, and to be, to be compensated fairly for it, and live in a world where, people are given equal opportunities. I think that should go across the political spectrum. We may be labeled or pigeonholed in different areas by the various political classes who want to use and abuse your vote or my vote or whoever else's vote. But ultimately, most people just want the same thing. They want a decent life for their families. They don't want to see people, poor people on the streets, and they don't want to see people starving in other countries. And crypto is a great equalizer for that, because, for too long, the financial institutions of the world have had a stranglehold on the economies of the world. People tell me that the world is, 100 trillion in debt. Well, who do they owe it to? Do we owe it to Mars or Jupiter or Saturn? We don't. We owe it to a clique of elite, rich individuals who pull the strings behind the scenes to a certain degree. And that's where my political rant ends. I'm kind of apolitical, because I think most politicians are just stuck within a system that's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Or not really broken. It was just designed to benefit the few and not the many. And, for me, it brings me joy that, a guy sat in Africa making, whatever handicraft he makes, yeah, or growing coffee beans in I don't know, Venezuela or somewhere, or Colombia, will be able to get a fair return for his labor and his effort. And it won't all go to rich middlemen and rich corporations, because I as a consumer with the blockchain, will be able to choose which type of coffee I buy, for example. And I will buy one from a company that treats its employees fairly, that pays its farmers a decent wage, that doesn't use child labor. And other people may not, but that's my choice. And I think a lot of people would make that choice, because what you've got to remember is the price of the end products doesn't necessarily have to change. What changes is the fat profits taken out by corporations in order to make that dream possible. And I think crypto, as you say, Joe, is a great equalizer across the globe.
Yep. It's so interesting, because it's funny, because I'm here in the US, where we are so divided. Like, you're either on this side or on that side. But the fact is, all of us just want humanity to win. Period. We all want everyone to win. When I walk into the grocery store and I see someone 8 feet behind me, I hold the door for them. I don't ask them first what their political affiliation is and then decide whether or not I'm going to hold it open or not. You know what I mean? Like, everyone on earth wants humanity to win. Online, on Facebook, on Twitter, on, whatever the political, landscape is, you have to pick a side, A or B. But we all want everyone to win. And that's what I love about crypto. This is a new universe where all we want is humanity to win. And I actually think that's the case in politics too. It's just that it got so divided that you've lost look in that. You either had to have A or you had to have B. But in crypto, we sit there and go, come into the family. Come in for $10, come in for $50, come in for $100, come in for $50,000, come in for $1 million. It doesn't matter. We're all here to let everybody win. And that's awesome. And that's what I mean when I say that crypto is the best equalizer ever. And Sasha, as you said it, can you imagine, like, whenever could someone who is in a third world country who has a unique talent turn their talent into an NFT and throw it online and all of a sudden buy a mansion from it? It's happening every day. And that's amazing. No matter where you fall in the political spectrum, you have to say, that's amazing. And that's
Agreed.
why, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really excited about this. I'm excited about Poodle. I'm excited about crypto. I'm excited about everything that's happening, because we are at a time where we are going to change. And I think I said this, was it last episode that I said it? That, world archaeologists and anthropologists are saying that, fire, wheel, internet are going to change the world. And they're the things that in 1,000 years, 10,000 years, people look at. I'm going to add a fourth, and I'm going to say blockchain. And I might replace internet with blockchain, because I think blockchain will replace the internet, because we already know it can. I own josiahway.crypto, right? It's on the blockchain. I have josiahway.com, and it's only as good as I pay my $20 a year or whatever it is, or $12 a year to keep it going. Josiahway.crypto will be there forever because it's a blockchain. I actually think, and I disagree. I have a PhD. I'm allowed to disagree with people. And so, this comes with having a PhD. You can disagree. I think it's going to be fire, wheel, blockchain, not fire, wheel, internet. Fire, wheel, blockchain. I think that's going to be huge. And I think that's why what I see Poodle doing right now is going to change the way we interact. Right now, and like Colby, you asked about gaming. I think gaming is what they call it, the gateway drug. Gaming is the gateway drug to true reality. I think in the future, can you imagine right now? So Colby, right now, I'm going to ask you a question. You're having fun with gaming. You're having fun with NFTs. Put yourself 50 years from now. You're 57. Or sorry, you're 67, 50 years from now. I can do math. You're not going to be sitting there going, I want to go blow up a car in a video game. But you are willing to virtually talk to your bridge club. There's the poodle. Right? You are willing to sit when anything else happens on Earth in a virtual room, in a metaverse, with your avatar in real life, right? Like, can you picture that?
Yeah.
And so that,
go
ahead.
In 50 years, that'll be the way to make money. I feel like most jobs will move to metaverse, honestly.
Yep. No, I totally agree.
Or before then, like 37 years.
No, I actually believe it's well before then too. Especially when you figure we've only, we can do a transatlantic flight in 5 hours. 50 years ago, it was 12 hours. 50 years before that, it didn't exist. So imagine what can happen in our world in 50 years with the way, if you look at Moore's Law tells you that technology advances double in the halftime of every, right? So in other words, we're going to double within every 50 years, and he's wrong. Moore is wrong because it's much more than that.
Look at Moore's Law does not apply here anymore.
It doesn't.
It may well do with hard drives, and it may well do with CPU speeds and that kind of thing. But things are moving so fast. It's amazing. I almost wish that I wasn't so old so that I could live and see 100 years time. I would love to. But I think even in the next 20 years, for example, things are going to move so quickly. And I'm a huge sci-fi fan. I like all kinds of sci-fi. But what pleases me the most is to see science fiction become science reality. And it does, it's amazing. Just think back to, I think it was the 70s, the 80s with the early Star Treks and their communicator devices. They seem so fantastical at the time to people, whereas now we're speaking in different countries on different continents through a device that looks a little bit like, a Star Trek communicator. When Star Wars came out, how fantastic was the hologram of Princess Leia, when she came out of R2-D2. And, now we have holographic devices and we have augmented reality, and it's just the beginning of the technology. But, you look at other shows like Altered Carbon, for example, that had a lot of augmented reality. And so, you walk into the biggest shithole of an apartment, pardon my French, and, you put your glasses on and all of a sudden, you're in a suite at the Ritz. It's and the things like that are coming. There are now augmented reality art galleries, for example, where you can walk in and there's just blank canvas, for example. I've seen one, but you put the glasses on and you see the fantastic works of art that are actually on those blank canvases or not on them. So the future's mind-boggling, but it's here and it's coming now.
I believe that the generation that I'm in, and maybe the one before, instead of waking up and getting ready for your 9 to 5, you're gonna, unless you own a business and all of that, like getting ready for your job, I believe you're gonna put on a VR headset. At least the people with more, maybe not all jobs, of course, because you can't do everything online, but a decent amount will be done over the metaverse. I have one question though.
Go for it.
So earlier we were talking about the Poodle in the metaverse, and I actually had the chance to talk to this company that is they're trying, since everyone's creating multiple metaverses, they're trying to connect them all and create one big metaverse. Well, I was gonna ask if Poodle will it be compatible with the metaverse, like with other metaverses, and will I be able to walk my Poodle figure around the metaverse?
Well, I can speak to that. Pause while I think about not breaking an NDA. The major players in the metaverse space understand that what got Betamax and Sony VCR wrong was trying to play against one another. What the web did right was play with one another. There were a lot of early players in the metaverse, all trying to make their own stand, rightfully so. However, everyone in the realm understands that if they don't play well together, they won't exist together. I think that answers your question.
To an extent, yes. My question is more based off Poodle, and its implementations into works.
So the way Moose is doing Poodle, he is using a standard that is read throughout all metaverses. How about that? Even though we have an app right now, and not everything connects to everything because everybody has their own. If you take all the metaverses, Decentraland and Sandbox, you take the big ones, right? They're still all their own. It's the same thing. You can't. You can send a tweet to Facebook, but Facebook still makes sure it came from Twitter and it wasn't really authentic to Facebook, right?
Yeah, proprietary technology,
right?
Built into each of them, which, the real metaverse, which is the decentralized DeFi metaverse, will allow interaction and interoperability between platforms, which is how it should be. The metaverse is everybody's. It's not Mark Zuckerberg's, for example, no matter how much he wants you to. And we may not be there yet, so we may have to tweak, to be for the AR models or the NFTs to be on the sandbox, for example, to comply with their particular protocols, or the same on Decentraland. But ultimately, where we will evolve to is where we have a common standards across what is the metaverse, which is the whole, rather than the various fragmented pieces which you see today.
Yep.
And what I see with Poodle is, when I look at the roadmap, I look at it almost as if it's a spider web, and it's just being woven, and one piece connects to the other, and then that piece connects to the other. And as we go along with it, it just gets bigger and wider and spreads out, to be the Poodleverse as we will come to know it in the next year to 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, an ecosystem built around Poodle. So there'll be gaming, Poodle AR, Poodle apps, and various other elements that we'll combine. But they will be part of the overall metaverse, which is hopefully, moving towards, as I said, standardized protocols.
And I think, that's the biggest thing that, and I know that we just lost Colby. So, Moose put in, I don't know why Moose is not here. Got to go deuces. Hey, fight on, Colby. All right, he just came. Moose put two actually very good comments in. He brought up Ray Kurzweil, and Ray Kurzweil is right on. All right, here, I want you all to do research on your own, and then I mean, it's MIT is Boston. I might bring him on. I know that I'm with Harvard, but it's okay. I'm USC and Harvard, but it's all right. We can go right down the street and go to MIT. We might need to invite him on, because Moose made a good comment about the law of accelerating returns and the evolution of technology, as he put here, because it is very, very important to what we're doing right now. So good there. He also said that Oculus is trying to make an open standards that do allow interoperability. That is where Facebook is getting it right. I know everyone's a Facebook hater, but Meta is doing it right with Oculus. They are doing the right thing in trying to make interoperability. I'm going to do a show from a live thing they're doing down in LA here. And it's going to be amazing. I've already got a preview of it, and it's going to be pretty good. And I think that this will tell you what's happening with Poodle and where we want to go in. So Colby, I think you're going to like it. You're going to see it. That being said, we were supposed to end at 1, and we're at 1:19. I am on Pacific Coast time for everyone, if you'd like to know. And hence why I always put 12 p.m. first. So I actually have my entire staff coming over for a party in like 40 minutes. So we're going to end an episode, but I want some final words. And here's the question. I'm going to go around the table, and here's the final question for everybody. Give your crystal ball, and don't just tell me we're going to moon. All right, we don't rocket, we don't moon. We're realistic with Poodle, even though we know we're going to rocket and we're going to moon. But we're realistic with having a true utility and a true growth that means something, which is exactly what happens with if you realize Home Depot doesn't moon by saying we're going to come out with a new garden hose. They moon because they deliver the garden hose, okay? So this is where we're going to do this. I'm going to go right around the table. what is your crystal ball prediction for Poodle in 2022? Karin, you're up first.
Well, it's going to be a better guess than basketball. My husband made fun of me. I just want you to know that. I believe that the first step, I think we're going to 100 times by the end of February.
100x by the end of February.
I think these NFTs are going to really do a really nice job of, propelling us forward. And then after that, it'll be a softer, and will definitely be more than that by the end of 2022. But that's my first big jump that I think by the end of February, maybe beginning of March, but that's my prediction.
You know what? I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. But here's, 100x by end of February. So February 28th, unless we're on a leap year. Are we on 2022? No, it's not a leap year. So
no, not a leap year.
That's tough because I was thinking we're going to release the app and NFTs in the next few days to a week. That's tough. So I'm gonna try to refute. I think it takes time for adoption. It takes time to do all of the everything. It takes time to get the high level people to pay attention. Though the high level people want to take advantage early because that's how they become high level people. They know how to get the best deal. End of February might be right because I was thinking our first real bump is end of January. Because I think it'll take all of January to make people realize what we did.
I agree with that.
And then it's going to take February of all the ape in. I think you might be right.
I want to be right.
We all want you to be right. But that's not bad. I would have said 50x by end of Feb. But dang, yeah. All right. I like it. All right, Colin. You're muted.
Can you hear me?
All right, we got you.
Realistically, man, I think we'll probably do a 10 off the app release, maybe a 10x, 5 and 10x from the app release and the NFTs and stuff. And then I was thinking more along the 50x by the end of the first quarter, beginning of second quarter. I was kind of on that one.
All right, I like it. Same thing. So you're saying end of first and second quarter 50x?
Yes, sir. I think 150 million is extremely attainable. 150 million is extremely attainable. Not hard at all.
Yep. No, I totally agree. And see that Colin, you and I were right along the same. I think Karin kind of pushed me up a little bit. I think you and I are right on. Only because I think it's going to take time for it, but it depends on how quickly here's the thing is we don't really know the NFT market. Moose knows the NFT market. And we're still looking at the NFT market through the token market, and that might be why we want it to extend. So I don't know, but I might be somewhere in there. I don't know. But I think here's the thing. If we all 50x by the end of Q2, we are still all really happy, are we not? Because you realize that if you 10x from a 50x, that's a 500x. Fun fact. Okay, fun fact. If we 50x by April, May, June of next year, everyone says, 10x is easy. That's a 500x from right now. Okay, so it's bit by bit. So there you go. Elle, save the best for last. Close us out. Give us some words of wisdom.
Well, if we market this right and target it right, there is absolutely no reason why we can't do by second quarter. I'm agreeing with you on the 50, anywhere between 50 to 70 times, because we get it right, we come out of the gate. There's nothing stopping this token, and it's just going to grow exponentially from there. So yeah, I'm totally bullish.
Yep. See,
we all have to do our part.
Yep, I totally agree. And I think you just said it right there. We all need to do our part. This token does not grow on its own. It does not grow without people knowing that what we've done exists. So that is important. And so we know L, the enter whatever your state of mind is, day poodle, pit bull, whatever poodle you are that day. Follow you and make sure that we, and by the way, people who are watching, because I see the stats, I know how many people watch and listen. You're all watching and listening. Reach out to L. You all want your investments to take off. I all know. Here, let's do a fun fact. Did you know the POODLCAST between our multiple, even though the YouTube live, it's at noon my time because that's my lunch break, and this is when you all get it, okay? You got to deal with it. But I see how many downloads this gets on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. We have a boatload of subscribers. I know, we got a moon. I know people are, it's moon as in we're mooning. Or is it mooning, you're going good night. The fact is, we have a lot of people paying attention to this token. And if you want to help, because we make it by your help, reach out to Elle. She's on the Telegram. And she is the shiller of shillers and can help you make the most of your investment. Even if you only owned one little poodle token, 1,000x means you turned 1 into 1,000. Okay. Let me help you do the math. So get in there, reach with her, because when all this stuff comes out, we need to be a team united here. So let's do it. We all got it. Use. Why wait, what? Unless you're here and I don't know it. No, I don't know. All right. Anyway, I think we did our thing. We went around. I think we all agreed we're 50x by June. Mark this in time. Karin thinks by February, March. I like Karin's. But no matter what, let's do it. We're all in it together. We're excited about what's happening. And I just love you all. I actually have a staff party to attend in like 30 minutes. So we're going to end an episode. Thank you all very much for attending. Love
Thanks,
you all.
Joe.
Hey, Poodle fam, here we go. Love the Poodle fam. And
Poodle fam.
We'll see you all next week. Take care, all. Bonus content right now. Okay, everybody, listen. I can't say this serious enough right now. We are at a time where Poodle is about to change history. We're going to change the NFT market. We're going to change the augmented reality market. You already know that I'm a doctorate in this. I'm telling you right now. I know I'm supposed to tell you, do your own research. I want you to do your own research. I also want to trust this team. Go in, buy big. This is your opportunity. Love you all. Poodle fam. Don't say I didn't say so. Take care.